What did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all? Uh... Do you guys see it? Do y'all see it right now? I'm afraid to throw this. Do you guys see this right here? I got took down. I got full blown took down. There is a warning on my account, and not just a warning. This warning states if I mess it with it again, my channel's done. They flat out took me down. I saw that on my phone and on my iPad before I saw that on my stream. They flat out took me down. They said no. This is the regrettable part, is I'm going to have to make this private. So I just challenged it. I said I challenge. I challenge the block. Okay. The short was okay. Not used to Millennium bouncing while walking or moving like Ultra Kaiju. That bothered me, but then the footage felt too clean in the previous. It definitely was like teasy. Yeah. No, the second that played, they took me down. They had zero tolerance for me there. That, I'm actually kind of impressed. They took me down. The second that the short ended, and then they killed me. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little afraid to even show the stream without like the short on the screen, because they just flat out just slapped me for that. I have never ever been copyrighted striked that fast, instantly. And that's funny, I had it muted too, so you guys weren't hearing the audio. That was literally just off of the video audio. I'm actually kind of shocked they took me down that fast. I'm not gonna lie. Do this. So we're gonna set everything up again. And then if the short happens to play again, what's gonna happen is we're just not going to play it. I will completely click off the stream, mute everything. So we're gonna do this. I'm sorry, guys. I have to do this. I don't get a choice. That was a channel ending warning. They said this is your first and only warning. Wasn't the best way. Why hurt our boy? I don't know. Yeah, that short was, it was really good, but then as I was like processing, like, oh shit, nothing actually really happened, and there was a lot of shots of just like looking at the destruction and the aftermath they took me down. I saw the notification on my iPad first, that said that you have um, gone against community standards, and Toho has taken down your live stream. So, yeah. So regrettably we have to cover most of the screen. We don't get a choice. This is just how it has to be, for me to continue, and hopefully I can continue the live stream. So, also, I don't know if you guys noticed. Did you guys notice when they're showing off stuff of the suit? The chest is the actual only part that's on the suit. It looks like the pelvis and the hip joints are digitally animated in. I don't want to say that for a fact, but it looked like the middle, these bottom sections were actually post and not actually on the suit. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how I quite feel about this new 2000 suit. It seems really lean in some ways, and then the way that the neck sits, it looks different. It looks different. So, oh, I don't know. I think I may have just lost my headphones. Oh, they're revealing the stats. Save Methuselah. I don't know. That's one of those situations where it's just like, well, I don't think the party that did the suing should have done the suing. I think it's a little ridiculous. But at the same time, it's like, you know, looking at Legendary, you couldn't make a design that didn't look at least a little different. Oops. And now I don't have audio through my headset, so now I can't hear anything. Toho took down my stream and they destroyed everything. The suit feels weird to me overall. I'm not happy and feel let down. The last three were awesome. What were they revealing? I mean, like I said, it's definitely a Ghidorah, but it was not GMK. They're doing some sort of tribute to the fest. They're showing a bunch of fest. Okay, I don't even have headset volume anymore. Okay, well, that sucks. Oh well. Toho took everything down. They took everything from me. That's okay. That's alright. Oh, they're doing a behind the scenes featurette. So we'll do this. Just a second. Chiller. Okay. So then I go to here, properties. Sorry, I should have brought this up before the fact. I'm still kind of surprised that Toho took me down for that so quick. Oh, that's funny. This is so funny. Let's see here. Toho will be taking your 2,000 in the morning. They can eat my poop. I paid for it. Can't show because Daddy Toho is Poopy Head Gatekeeper. Yeah, basically. And all those great stats for that live stream are just gone. Like we'll actually go into it. Where's it at? Let's go into it. Let me show you guys how well that stream did. Off the cuff. Oh, whoops. Oh, it's not even here because it's so new and because I took action on it. That stream was doing really well by the stats for a live stream on my channel or anyone's from my channel. It did really well. Yeah, Jacob, be careful about spamming here, buddy. We see the Super Mecha Godzilla from Battle Impact should be in Battle Line. Yeah, should be. Should see. Yeah, let's not spam it though, please and thank you. Yeah. How many people did we get back? We got 2, 3, 4. That's good. I still can't show anything. They're basically, well, if you guys are watching the stream, you guys can see. I can't believe Toho took me down. And you know, I did have a drinking rule for that. So you know what that means, everybody. We have to drink for that. And you guys know what the rule for Toho taking down my live stream was? Finish a drink. Or not finish a drink. Pound a drink. I have to completely start a new one. So we're looking at this drink that I still have to take 7 drinks out of. Puts me at half of this. And then I have to pound all of this one. That's okay, Jacob. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. No problem, no problem. We're gonna click on that one. Yeah. So until they're done with this segment, which might honestly be a while, we're just gonna sit here and chill. Finally, my most successful live stream ever. And I get taken down to copyright. So we're basically, I'm just live commenting to it. Once it is safe, at the end, at the end of the fest, it was Ghidorah. It was Ghidorah clicks. It was specifically, from what I could hear, was Monsterverse Ghidorah. But obviously there's not a suit of Monsterverse Ghidorah. So it leads me to believe that it is one of the other King Ghidorahs. Now, once again, they've been pushing Rebirth of Mothra. So we could see a Rebirth of Mothra, or we could just see a completely new Ghidorah, or we could see a Orochi. I don't know what the Orochi roars sound like, but I could only see like 2 or 3 heads in there too. So, let's see, Jacob, don't spam this already. Godzilla Fest, Godzilla 4 and 5 were peak. Yeah. All the Godzilla Fest, I feel like, have been really peak. Yeah, the reels will remember the stream. Yeah, they will. Yeah, it's gone. I privated that stream. I can't even see that stream anymore. I think Toho just absolutely said no. You don't get to keep it at all. So 6-hour live stream just gone. I definitely only didn't see it because you were in my ear. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I would I'm sure they'll replay it again. Well, I mean they're kind of replaying everything now, so we'll see. Yeah, I think that's definitely something with the short. They really like there's a lot of reaction where Godzilla's not actually on screen. Like Godzilla shows up, he walks behind the building, and there's a good solid like 30-40 seconds of Godzilla not being on screen, and then he blasts his the Godzilla 2000 spiral heat ray, destroys the plane, turns over, hits that building, and then it just sits there for a while. Yeah, I don't think it will be GMK Ghidorah because of they already used GMK Ghidorah. It the suggestion almost feels like it isn't going to be reusing anything, but we'll see. Of course, I can't confirm. Grand King would be amazing. So who the first villain of the Rebirth of Mothra is Des Ghidorah. It's been a while since I've heard the Des Ghidorah roars, so we'll see. I also one thing it's a critique, and I kind of figured it was happening before the short was even shown. I'm not crazy about the fact that Godzilla 2000 goes burning basically from nothing. Like he just kind of goes burning for no reason. Oh yeah, that's right. Dez is an elephant. You're right. So, I I'm not crazy about that. It would have at least been cool if there was like an enemy to persuade 2000 into feeling like it had to do that. But we'll see. I do like how wide the jaw moves on the suit. It shows that the monster arts still has a little bit of improvement it could do, technically. I think its jaw opens enough, but it definitely could do more. Helicopters are OP, yeah. I hate the Showa Heisei roars used, like Toho used the appropriate roars. See, like, I don't mind, because, like, at the end of the day, it's, like, all Godzilla, but maybe it's Barber Boy, a monster before he was turned into straw. It could be. It could be. Could be. We'll see. They're still showing stuff about the short. Once again, I'm gonna just hide everything until until I know it's safe again, if it's ever safe again. See, it says streams are automatically re-enabled when there isn't copyright. Okay, so they're saying that they detected multiple breaches of third-party content in my stream, and because um, I didn't take an option to take I didn't, try to get them away. Um, they took it all down. So they took the live stream completely down. That's why I can't even view the live stream because it's like it's gone. It is gone. Um, you may not have intended to include this content, but live streams should be actively monitored for or please review. This is just a warning. First time you can still upload posts and live stream. However, we removed your content from YouTube. Review your content policy after you review. You can appeal if you think you got it wrong, and then I can take training for it. Obviously, appeals can take for non-dedicated YouTubers like me, where I don't have like a YouTube official with me. This could basically the stream is gone forever. There's no other way to say it. The stream is gone from YouTube forever. Now, because of how OBS works, I have recorded the stream, so everything is recorded. Even right now, this is being recorded. So, what I could do is eventually upload it and just cut out the short stuff. YouTube sucks ass. I mean, it's not even specifically YouTube. It's Google, and it's Toho. I did say this the whole stream that this was probably going to happen. I mean, I have been saying it for about 2 or 3 weeks that this likely probably was going to happen. I specifically mentioned that when the short plays, they're probably going to get me. They ended up getting me. What this does tell me is the short probably will not be posted separately from this live stream for a while, and this live stream will only be up for like a week, I think, and then it goes away. And once that goes away, I'm pretty sure the stream or the short will also disappear off of YouTube until next year. And that's why they're being so aggressive with it. They don't want people like me streaming this and then having it stay up forever. Now I'm going to see if anyone else got taken out or if anyone was okay. So everyone else that was live streaming stopped before the short played. So. But yeah, so it is what it is. Yeah, YouTube kind of sucks. It happens. Dude, I had a bad experience with my 2000. His chin gap cover fell out. That can fall out? How did you make it fall out? Chin gap cover, huh? I didn't even know that was possible. That's interesting. Another problem is making... We're doing what Toho won't... Yeah, I mean, like, I think it does end up... It ends up hurting them, yeah, because that's the reason why people don't stream these. I'm not the first person for this to happen to, and I'm probably not the last person just with this festival live streams experience, period. But I do understand that they're protecting their intellectual property. They don't want it distributed, and that I can respect as well. So it's like a back and forth thing where, like, I understand it's disappointing, it's disheartening, especially, like, besides the fact that, I do have the stream recorded, that 6.5 hours is just gone, and it probably will never be back on YouTube unless I upload an edited version of it. Now, it does make me curious to see if I could, in theory, upload it without the short in it. If I just cut this whole short segment out, if I fuse this, what's going to be this part 2 stream, and then the part 1 stream, and I just cut out the short entirely. I just cut out all of this conversation besides probably my immediate reaction to getting copyright striked and taken down. How to uncrooked? I mean, mine's also like slightly crooked. I just move the joint, and if it eventually doesn't, like, if it doesn't move over, I just kind of give up. I'm gonna be honest. Because I had, whose tongue did I have pop out? I had someone's tongue pop out, and it was 91 Godzilla, and it was really hard to get back in there. So I've just given up on fiddling with tongues. If the tongue doesn't look weird or if it doesn't articulate, I just don't let it bother me anymore. I believe my Geigen's is also slightly out of alignment, but at the same time, like, it's a living thing, so, like, it's not supposed to be perfect, so I try not to let my OCD and stuff, like, or my unofficial OCD bother me. I think Barubo, I don't know if they're gonna do a kaiju that's not licensed. I would be very interested to see next year if they actually do something that hasn't been done before. It would surprise me if this is a brand new kaiju. But at the same time, I'm not gonna say never say never, Jacob, because at the same time, Toho is Geigen's all the way to the side. Yeah, Geigen, I think that was a kind of semi-common problem with Geigen. It's just most people didn't even see it because it's kind of hard to see the tongue in there. I know plenty of people didn't even know Geigen had a tongue until they got the Monster Arts in hand. So, Geigen, I don't really have a fix for. You could try heating it up just to see if like the tongue is like stuck, but at the same time you might damage something too. So I don't want to just like recommend that. Man, I can't believe I had like 50% of the screen wasn't showing the short and it was blocked, and they still took me down. Okay, I gotta catch up on these drinks. So we have 7 drinks from this beer and all of this beer. All of this has to go for getting copyright slapped. Warninged. I had to get, I got warninged. So, cheers for the first 7. Excuse me. Beer is so rough. So rough. Fucking YouTube took down my stream. I can't believe that. I can't believe it happened. I made it through Fortnite. We've made it through Dokkan streams. We've watched other people's content, which is also copyright protected, I want to add. But the big old Toho just does not allow such BS. Toho doesn't even make these short films. Yeah. I mean, that's the main thing. It's like once the fest is done, after like a few days or a week, they take the shorts down. So I do understand why my stream got taken down. I do. But at the same time, that was a 6.5-hour stream. We were doing really good. And it was something that just helps Godzilla Fest as well. You can still watch them. They're not public. Like, yeah. Like, I have the DVD. I have the DVD, but they take them off of YouTube until the next year. And then they make them kind of semi-permanent on YouTube. And these just didn't... They just took it. The video literally ended. It didn't even happen in the middle of the short. They let me get through the whole short, get to the point where I was adjusting. I was going to adjust this again. I was like, oh, maybe I should expand things, just a little bit more. And while I was editing the screen, then I got the notification on my iPad saying, hey, your stream just got taken down. And it was just like, because OBS didn't react. But my YouTube did. And then I got the notification on my phone. So I got double notified. So it's disappointing. But like it's not guys, huge reveals. Huge reveals at Godzilla Fest. Frog Tree, Burning Godzilla 2000. What I'll try to show it on stream. I don't know if Matt came back or not. Uh, um, well, my screen is muted, so I'll try to see if I can't get these just immediately moved over to my. I'll show you guys. Uh, um, uh. Oh, they're showing it on stream. Okay. Um. Burning Godzilla 2000 movie monster series. Burning Godzilla 2000. It's just using the 2.0 mold. Uh, um. Okay, they're hiding it again. Let me see if I can't get those two photos that I just got. I've got one of them. Okay, so they're advertising what's coming. Basically they're showing off the next the lines to get Burning Godzilla. So Gaji Burst, 30 centimeter X plus line, which we already saw. The fresh frog tree has made it. We've got a photo of the frog tree in hand. It is actually the craziest thing I think I've ever seen. It might honestly be the best Safubi on the planet. Uh-oh. Is that everyone's stream? Is it just my stream? Okay. Okay, I think I can take that off. Are they going to show the photos of it? I'm still waiting for... Okay, they're showing more Godzilla, like, screenshots and stuff. Let me get the photo of this quick on my PC from my phone. And I'll show you guys, okay? We'll look at that instead of the blank screen. I'm gonna get both of these up. There you go. Okay. Here you go. Yeah. Here y'all go. This is the frog tree, Burning Godzilla 2000. Oh shoot. I think I'm a little too large for it. No. How's that look? Doesn't look too bad. Sculpt is looking sexy as hell. Perfect. And then, yeah, you can see it here. Chat, no. And there's the old 30 centimeter X Plus Godzilla 2000 is also getting it. Also, they just confirmed, it looks like on the stream, that the Godzilla Fest short should be playing after the 4th permanently. It looks like, maybe. So that's maybe why they copyrighted me so hard. They said, we're going to be playing this ourselves. We don't need you. Imagine a giant frog fighting Godzilla. That would be cool. It might be taken down eventually. Yeah, I mean, I would expect these to be taken down. But, yeah, so we just got, unsurprisingly, some new news. We finally had a new movie monster series reveal. Oh. Okay, they're going back to ads. That looks like part 2 announcement, unless I'm crazy. Oh, is this it? Are they done, Alex? Are they done? We're gonna throw that one back out. A giant frog versus Godzilla would basically Godzilla versus Orga. Basically, yeah. Unless they didn't like me playing their ads either, but I don't think Collect All Monsters has had issues playing the older ads, so. Do we... damn, no 4K set or Bandai pull? Maybe there might be more after the advertisements. It might just be like an overtime thing. Because this is only six and a half hours. That's a little short for them. They normally do 8 hours. So we'll see. I'll let these advertisements go and see what happens. We have plenty of drinks. I still have a full drink. How did you get those DVDs of the shorts? Oh, the Blu-ray. These. This is just available in Japan. They didn't get to part 3. Yeah, they heard you saying you weren't buying Godzilla. Maybe. You can just import this from Japan. This is Jacob. These are official. This is an official Blu-ray release of the shorts. Official Toho. I only buy official here. Official. So they have all the behind-the-scenes features. There's no subtitles. This is a Japan exclusive, so you're not getting any subtitles. So, on the behind-the-scenes stuff, the shorts themselves, don't expect any subtitles. They're still enjoyable to watch. I like throwing them in when I want to watch like something quick. Some Godzilla stuff quick. I don't, if I don't have too much time, I'll throw in and watch like 2 or 3 of the shorts and be like, oh damn, they went an hour, boom, and then we go back to whatever I was doing. CD Japan should have them hopefully. Godzilla store. You can't use Bai to import them, I don't think. So you basically have to use CD Japan, or Ami. Hobby Link Japan might still have some left, but CD Japan should still. They heard. I still hate the short ha. I hate Godzilla bouncing, acting like an Ultra Kaiju. I feel like that's just the modern take of suit motion, of like the whole bouncy. Just it kind of makes them seem more active. My thoughts on. I don't think I've seen that, the Godzilla Battle Royale. No, I have not. So I might have to check that out. Okay, so the stream is back at just like the base. There's no audio. And the Godzilla Fest stream might be over. Might be. Yes, it is over. No, I will absolutely, Jacob, I will not be streaming the shorts. Toho, to know that I only had an hour left of this live stream, all I had to do was mute the screen and I would have been fine. That's it. All I had to do was take off my main screen. Oh, the Battle Royale. No, so I don't typically stream other people's content for the same reason as what just happened with the Godzilla Fest. Everything technically can be copyrighted. So like, even if people were to take like my content, oh, there's something more. Even if they were to take my content, there's still Godzilla music, so we're gonna be careful. Technically, I could copyright someone for watching my content. Now, I'm not gonna do that because it's free use. I make content based on something that's someone else's copyright. So I'm not gonna. We're silly. They announced interview before the ads. Oh, okay. So that's probably why people were leaving, because they didn't care for this film. Not to be rude to this film, but that's probably what we saw. So I tend not to stream other people's content or other, it's just to be careful. I typically not. We have done a few times in the past some older stuff, but I do tend to be a little safe just in case. And this is obviously no different. So I do apologize that most of the screen has to be covered, but once again, I have to keep my channel, and that one warning is enough. Basically, not that I was close to it. If I had been close, or if I had been monetized, I would have actually just lost my monetization on my channel. I would have actually just lost it right there. So, although things are kind of bad, not the worst. Oh, that sucks. So the Burning Godzilla, Burning Millennium Godzilla is what they're calling it officially. It's a P Bandai exclusive. Cool. So expect, I wouldn't say expect, but the G Store could, the USG Store could get it. Might want to get set up the back channel. No, we'll be fine. Not all three figures, just the movie monster series Burning Millennium is a P Bandai. I don't know what the X Plus is, and I don't know what the Frog Tree is. I would assume that the Frog Tree and the X Plus would be through. The X Plus would be Rick, maybe a G Store exclusive, or Toho Entertainment exclusive, and then the Frog Tree will probably be what Frog Tree's been doing for their exclusives since the beginning. Be like a Frog Tree event exclusive. Goodness, everything Bandai's P Bandai. Yeah, and that's the fallout of them moving from the G Store to Toho Entertainment. Um, it's not a good change, especially because if they're going to do P Bandai's, the US should get them on pbandai.com right away. And then if people don't want to buy it from P Bandai USA, they can just wait for the US Godzilla store to get it. That would be my recommendation to Toho on how they're handling these things. But obviously, I'm not a I don't have a college degree in these type of things in business. These people normally do go to school and they've had years of training, where I'm just some schmuck who, although isn't going to buy these toys, would like my friends and fellow collectors and colleagues to be able to get these easier. And right now, those P Bandai exclusives are not easy to get. And even if they are easy to get through like Big Bad Toy Store, they are like double to triple the price. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it for, my friends here in the US. Goodness, yeah. Gamera's really neat. Gamera's filled with meat. We've been eating Gamera. If you like eating turtle, yeah, you've been eating Gamera. I'm personally, well, not that I can get turtle anywhere around here anyways, and I think it's kind of, might be frowned upon in certain areas. Man, yeah. Oh, man, Harry Potter is coming to Fortnite soon. Cool. MST, it's 3K. I'll never eat a turtle. Oh, okay. That's the reference? Okay. I haven't actually seen those before. I'll try everything once. And I mean everything. For food. I'll try everything once. Every meat once. So, I've said it. If I go to another country and it's legal to eat something that's not legal over here, and it's not expensive, I'll do it. I'll do it. Turtle? Sure. Dog? Sure. Horse? Sure. Shark? Absolutely. My grandfather has eaten shark before when he went to Florida. So, I've had boar before, wild pork. That's pretty good. Uh, crocodile or alligator, I'm told, is like chicken, kind of. I want to cross that off my list. I'm so betrayed. No, I'm sorry. I just gotta try it once. Everything once. People, I would try people once if it wasn't dangerous. Even once can mess you up pretty good. So I had a horse in Japan. It was so good. They do serve horse in Japan. Okay. So next year I'll have my try of horse. Gamera Expo better be good. Is there going to be a Gamera Expo? Is that something that they're like live streaming? I would love to do a live stream on Gamera as well. Obviously, I'll have to update my security a little bit. But we're gonna make this a little bit larger. We're just gonna really make sure we're safe here, everybody. But in treat, I'll do this. There you go. Yeah, I'm feeding my pet. human flesh now. Nice, nice. Yeah, flesh is good. Human flesh is pretty okay. I haven't fully like eaten and ingested it, but better make the comeback they deserve. Gamera shockingly somehow hasn't yet this year. Like we've gotten those teas. They even teased that there was a possibility of like new media, like a new movie or Rebirth were continuing or something, and then just it's been dead for literally months. And Pacific Rim has that book, comic. It has something coming out. And people were talking about how there was like rumors of a new movie maybe being in conversation, but I don't know. Like, I didn't really care for the animated show. Like, I still haven't seen the final season. I would have to rewatch all of it again, which I know it's on Netflix. Oh, there's a new Pacific Rim show coming to Amazon. Okay, okay. So there is more. I do think I slightly remember that, but maybe I don't know. There's so much being announced all at the same time. Man, dude. Here you go, Alex. I'll send you. You're Alex. You're more of an X Plus guy, so I'll send you that. It looks pretty. Not that I think that 30 centimeter Godzilla 2000 mold has kind of aged a little bit, admittingly. I think it has aged. I think the super 30 centimeter is way better. I don't even think it's close. But I get it. I get it. So new Pacific Rim coming to Amazon. Do we know if it's animated or live action? Live action would be really, really peak. But I'll take animated too. It's a universe that deserved more than it got. Uprising completely destroyed what I think it's live action. Okay. I'll see. I'll do some research after stream too. I'll see if there's any definite answers. There might not be anything defined as well. It might just be like, hey. Let's see here. No, god damn it. I accidentally hit the Discord tracking. What are they showing off? Oh, they're showing off some of the previous non-Godzilla work, I think. Once again, I can't hear. Headset isn't working. So now I don't have audio. And then out of safety, I have it muted for you guys for the live stream itself. So I got to make sure that I'm continually talking. That way there is commentary. Otherwise, it's just dead open silence. And I feel like that's weird. I do have some drinks to do. So I think just by the feel of this on where I was at, I think I have 3 more of this, and then I still have a whole beer to finish. So let's let these 2 gentlemen talk about their interview, talk about 93 and everything else, and then maybe by the time we're closer to the end of it, I'll be a little bit more drunker. So. Oh. A lot of foam and shit at the bottom of that. Awful. See, that's where the beer being room temp is bad. I feel like the foam at the bottom of the can is the worst at room temp. That's where it's too much for me. The only time I don't like room temp drinks, specifically beer, is when I have to get to the foam. What unmade Godzilla movies do you think should have been made? I mean, like, the Ghost Godzilla from 95 is interesting, but would I prefer that over what we got in Destroya? Probably not. I don't really think there's anything unmade that I would prefer more than what was made. I don't think, personally. Obviously, I could go to, like, Godzilla 93/94, Godzilla versus Griffin. But like the original GMK and 94 are the ones that could have been a thing. Like, Would it have been really, really cool to see Anguirus and Baragon in GMK instead of Mothra and King Ghidorah? Absolutely. Um, but like at the same time, like I do like the switch of Ghidorah being a protector of Earth and Godzilla being the destroyer rather than both of them being destroyers or Ghidorah being the invader and Godzilla being the defender. So like I like the switch there. Mothra basically does well doesn't basically Mothra does nothing in GMK. Mothra doesn't do a lot in some of the films she does. GMK is one where it's like Mothra really doesn't like Mothra's contribution is making sure that Ghidorah evolves sooner, so Ghidorah can fight Godzilla, and that's it. Who even takes Ghidorah's place in the final battle? See, and that's the other thing. Like when you look at what the movie is, how do you put Anguirus or Varan or Baragon in that spot with GMK? I feel like even if they made it to like the filming stage, how would you have the final battle? Would you have all three gang up on Godzilla? You could do that, and that would be a lot of fun. It'd be visually a lot of fun. Um, but like besides that, you know, and then and then you have to make it to where how do all three of them weaken Godzilla enough to the point where Godzilla has to, whether it's in the ocean or on land, blow through himself with his atomic breath again. I feel like it's really only possible with King Ghidorah slash and Mothra. Mothra is just shoehorned in almost every movie. I don't know if it's in every movie, but like yeah, Mothra kind of it's the limitations of the prop, and that's why I know most people don't want to see Mothra in the Minus universe, but like a CGI Mothra actually being handled well, not like 2019 or 2024's legendary films. Although she did have some cool moments in there, she still feels kind of just like thrown in there at most of them, especially New Empire. Um, with Minus, with the CGI and the way that Yamazaki is handling the kaiju, it would be really fun to see Mothra in that universe because that's probably going to be a way more active Mothra. Yamazaki could make a standalone Mothra, and that would be good. Someone in my comments gave me some cool lore about the Final Wars universe. Drop it, Sharktopus. Give me some Final Wars lore. I would like to see if Matt knows this lore, which I'm guessing he does. He's a big Final Wars fan, so I'm curious to see. I do like that the -0. I can't believe we're saying that. We've got it now. We've got the logos just like spread. It looks messier. And just everything's different about it. I love it. The fin, specifically the G that's supposed to be the fins in the logo, is more exaggerated. So could we see like a more Godzilla 2000 dorsal plate design on -1? Maybe. King Ghidorah appeared on Earth twice. The first time he was sent away by Godzilla, Mothra and Rodan. The second time he got killed, just flat out killed by Mothra. I would say all of the Final Wars verse characters do seem to be like Omega busted strong. Like they all seem way stronger than any incarnation before. So it doesn't actually kind of surprise me that there was a King Ghidorah in the Final Wars universe, and it doesn't surprise me that Mothra killed it. This was from a guidebook that never got translated. Okay. -0 spells goo. It does spell goo. It's funny. Well, see, and now we're an hour into this stream. Just the thing, an hour ago my stream got taken down. It doesn't feel like it was an hour ago. It feels like it was 10 minutes ago. That's how much the stream happens. Oh, articulation series only during his live stream he only talked about the monster arts and then he bounced out. Okay, so yeah, so that plasma space Godzilla is concept art for Godzilla Burst, not completely guaranteed to happen yet. Yeah, the Godzilla 2000 suit is just so long. Like, I don't. The body's long. It looks. It's interesting. It's interesting. With the logic of the title spelling goo, Hedora might be confirmed. Yeah, definitely not confirmed, but the more time goes on, Hedora does seem kind of like what they're going with, and it is very, very well deserved. So I do hope this sequel film, that's what they choose to do. I think Hedora would be great. Mothra also defeated Ghidorah in the Kiryu saga. I don't know if she. Oh, really? So the lore of the Kiryu saga is that Ghidorah does appear at some point, and Mothra also defends back. Well, I guess they're. It's the same puppet from Mothra, so it makes sense that they're different lores, but then the Mothra is still overpowered. I mean, Final Wars Mothra is broken. The flame attack thing she does on Gigan probably would take out most of the kaiju, honestly. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that there was like extended lore outside of the movies for a lot of these. I knew there was some, but to see that it goes so deep is surprising. I have to drink this whole beer. Guys, I'm honestly not looking forward to it. But I don't like to disappoint. And I was already very late multiple times this week with content. So I think it is the least I can do to repay off my failures and debts. Imagine if they adapted spin-off media into mainline films. It would be cool. It'd be cool, but it's definitely not something they would do. I would really like spin-off slash unmade stuff to be made into these shorts, whether it's Gemstone or it's just the shorts themselves. That would be the place to do the really, really weird. Excuse me. The really, really weird stuff. Like Baggin really feels like Baggin would be good for a short. I don't know if I would want to see Baggin in a movie necessarily, but I would like to see Baggin. Like, isn't Godzilla, right? And I feel like that might actually be perfect enough, for Baggin. On Troll 2 and Kaiju. I haven't seen either one of those films. So I haven't seen Troll 1 and Kaiju Island of Fire. I haven't heard of. Baggin is dead. Baggin, yeah. And Baggin's dead. So, although they're coming soon. Oh yeah. Okay. I mean they look kind of cool. I never watched Troll 1 and I haven't seen anything on Kaiju Island of Fire, so I have no opinion on them just because I don't know. It would be an ignorant opinion in my feeling or in my opinion, so it's an ignorant opinion in my opinion, so you gotta watch Troll 2, the old one where the guy yells, "Oh my!" Oh, those ones I've seen. Yeah, I've seen the classic Trolls, but not. I'm pretty sure Jacob's talking about the Netflix series Troll movies. They're not German, Norwegian movies, right? Aren't they in a different language, natively? They're really good. They're cool. I mean, I heard good things about them. I just didn't look at it because they're basically just Kong. The Norwegian, yeah, they're Norwegian. Yeah, I haven't seen them yet, but maybe when Troll 2 releases, I'll just do a back-to-back double feature with my partner, Larissa. Her and I can just watch both. maybe. Damn, that 30 centimeter is huge when it's in his hands. Holy moly. That's the 30 centimeter X Plus. That thing is huge. I know you guys can't see it directly on my screen, but if you're watching the stream, like that thing's like larger than his head. I love X Plus. I hit and miss, but you know, what line isn't? What line really, legitimately, like honestly, isn't hit or miss? What 74 is that? That's not the new one, is it? That looks weird. I like that they're showing the logo though. And then they're showing MG2. So they're showing the differences, the evolution of Mechagodzilla. Now that's like a suit or a kit photo. That one's really detailed. That might be... I guess that could be the X Plus 25, maybe? I don't know. The paint on it doesn't look like an X Plus, though. That's where, like, it almost looks custom. Almost. Are they showing the creators of the Mechagodzilla? Favorite Godzilla writer? I mean, I'm gonna say Hideaki Anno and Shinji Higuchi. Like, I can't help that my favorite writing is my favorite movie. You know, Shin Godzilla. Godzi Burst never misses. So far, it doesn't seem to be missing very much. They're doing pretty damn good. And it seems like not only is Godzi Burst going to give us like a ton of kaiju at an affordability that's affordable for everyone around them, especially if you're in Japan. Like those toys are cheap, like 1,000, couple thousand yen a piece, maybe. They're max 2,000 yen. They're small, like they're easy to put in your suitcase and bring over, but they're also doing different new things. Gatling Gigan, Plasma Space Godzilla, you know. Wait, are they trying to say that these movies are all connected? Imagine the Jim Henson Company working on a Godzilla movie. Jim Henson, I don't know who that is on the top of my head, but I'm also very intoxicated, so keep that in mind. I'm very, very, very intoxicated right now. I've been drinking for 7 hours straight, you know, basically. Okay, I thought I got another notification saying my stream. Oh, Muppets? Well, then that's not really my thing. That's not my thing. It would be fun and cool, but just not. I'm not the target audience. I know I would enjoy it because I'm kind of just like a lot of my favorite things, they can throw something that's not really good and I'll still really like it, or something that's really different. Like it takes a lot for me to really not like something, you know, from like my favorite franchises. So I'd still enjoy it, but personally not my first choice on things. But that's okay. Not everything has to be like star-studded for me, because if it was, it would just be Shin Godzilla sequels over and over and over again, and not everyone would enjoy that either. So, you know, y'all hopefully get a little bit of what we want. Oh, okay, so they're showing who controlled the Mechagodzillas at the time. Cool. That's cool. I like that. That's fun. I like that Toho's like kind of going through some lore stuff. You're gonna watch the Muppets Godzilla trilogy whether you like it or not. Do you think the standalone Godzilla movies are getting redundant? No, I don't think so. A younger me absolutely would have said so. Like, yeah, I think it's redundant. But not anymore now that I'm older. We can maybe turn the audio up a little bit. Just a little bit. I really, once again, being really, really careful with the stream. But no, Jacob, I personally don't feel like standalone Godzilla movies are getting redundant. I don't think so. As a younger adult, I would have maybe said yes, but not anymore. No, there's something very special about the Showa film, or the solo films, excuse me, um, that are captivating. Because like when you go into a movie with Godzilla versus so and so, though a lot of the time you are waiting for Godzilla to fight that kaiju and that's it. And for me, as a kid, like I missed out on a lot of the human aspects. 54 is way more intense as an adult because as an adult I'm able to understand the adult things going on. Now I'm not saying that as a younger kid I didn't understand that. I understood that way before I got on YouTube and looking up reviews and seeing what other people thought of Godzilla films. I could tell that 54 was different. One, because it was in black and white and it was super old, but two, it was not a happy film. It wasn't a film that I watched very often. It was a film that even like when you're very young, like when I was 4 or 5 and I had my VHS, it was one of the films my parents didn't even want me to rewatch too much because it was depressing. And that was the King of the Monsters edit, which I feel like is a little bit, not much, but a little bit more tame than Gojira itself. The 56 version of the film is a little bit more tame, in my opinion. Not much more. They still try their best, of course, but I don't mind. And then I watch something like -1. Like I was watching -1 before stream today with my girlfriend, and -1 still hits incredibly hard. And it's just Godzilla. Shin Godzilla is my favorite film. I remember when Shin was announced, I was super disappointed it wasn't Godzilla versus something. And the whole time up until we started getting those immediate, like the full real trailers, started getting footage, we started actually seeing Godzilla, where I was like, oh shit. He doesn't have to fight another kaiju if Godzilla himself is super scary. And Shin, although the movie itself doesn't lean into that horror scary aspect, it does, however, use very subliminal, minor messaging, and it just makes Shin scary as hell, in my opinion. The 3 best Godzilla movies are standalone. Do you think -0 can twist up the Godzilla vs. Kaiju trope? I don't know. I think I hope it does, but I don't think so. I think it's going to end up being our typical Godzilla versus Kaiju. I don't really think we're going to be hoping for the other monster to win. They would have to make it to where like Godzilla goes off like after the events of -1, a kaiju gets beached up, something that's the prey of Godzilla, and it's also large, but it can't fight for itself, it can't defend itself. That's where like Anguirus would be a really good idea. A weakened Anguirus is on shore, and then the Japanese government and our main cast is like, oh, instead of killing this kaiju, we could heal it, to try to have it become our friend, our pet, our weapon, and to defend us from Godzilla. And I feel like that's the only way to do it, and I just don't know if that's going to land very well as a movie, especially as a follow-up to -1. Emotionally and tonally, I just don't think that quite works, but you never know. Root for Mothra to beat Godzilla, but that's it. I mean, as a kid, I never voted for any kaiju to beat Godzilla. I always wanted Godzilla to win, even when he was the villain.
I watched it in '98, and I still wanted Godzilla to win because I was like, damn, they just killed all his kids. They're just trying to eat. It's not like they're doing anything evil out of evil necessity. They're just doing evil, quote unquote, because that's nature. You know, nature takes over the other. So, I don't think I've ever really voted for Godzilla to lose up until like getting closer to my adult years, where like my mindset changed, where I did start voting for, like, in '64. I do now hope as an adult, even though I know the outcome of the film, I hope for Mothra to win. In Shin, I hope for all the heroes to win. In -1, I hope for all the heroes to win instead. But that doesn't change that I still don't feel remorse and sadness for Godzilla. Um, like, -1 in and of itself isn't a bad thing. He's not doing it out of evil. In fact, this guy, -1, her, supposedly. I haven't read the English translation of -1 officially, so I don't know if it's actually given -1 a gender. I'm assuming they probably just say he, because it's a dumb trope that's been for years. King of the monsters, so like I get it, but like king and queen actually aren't gender specific. It's just your title. King is a title, queen is a title. You can still be uh, a guy and be a queen, and you can still be a woman and be a king. But that's besides the point. We don't need to get into those conversations during this stream specifically. But when the translation for -1 came out, the unofficial, like, not the actual printed book, but like people were self-translating, they noted that it almost suggested that the Odo Island Godzilla was female, which is why a lot of times throughout the history of this channel, since finding that out, you guys have maybe heard me just throw in that -1 is lady, but now there's the English translation of the book, and I think it doesn't genderize Godzilla, which is the safest thing to do. Godzilla's not meant to have a gender. Godzilla is supposed to be a force of nature. Force of nature doesn't have gender. It's genderless because, it doesn't matter. Whoa, there's even more reveals. Oh, is that a UA? Or not a UA? Is that a... Matt, are you still here? Is that small Godzilla 2000 you sent? Is that Max toy? That Max toy? Actually, I don't think. Okay. Everyone, that's funny, Jacob. I just saw your. I'm not sure what it is. It almost looks like a larger version of the Max. Okay, okay. So we'll see. This is important. So this comes from Kaiju Kingdom. So obviously, the presses from around the world were let known about -0's announcement before the live stream. This is the quote from Kaiju Kingdom once again. It says it's by. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So it's a new brand, maybe, or just like a new product, maybe. I don't think I've ever heard them in condition to Godzilla, but maybe they're one of the new ones. I've been kind of out of the Safubi realm a little bit. I've been really just focusing on Monster Arts lately. Even like news wise, I haven't really even been super up to date with all of the Safubi coming out or the colorways. So kind of like I missed out on a Marusan Glitter Shin Godzilla that dropped within the last month and a half. I saw Rip City Kaiju had one. It's the green and gold, but it was a glitter Marusan fourth form Shin, and obviously it's already gone. I haven't even looked at Bai because it's just not worth importing anymore. It's too expensive for most things. But this comes from Kaiju Kingdom. This is regarding Godzilla -0. New details about Godzilla -0 were published in The Hollywood Reporter this morning. The article is basically the announcement of the film and the accolades of the last, but this paragraph had the most interesting tidbits. Once again, don't take this as a fact because it's not coming from Toho. This is coming from someone who I guess has been in contact with Toho, Hollywood Reporter. Quote, according to insiders, once again, this isn't confirmed information, the new film is being positioned not just as a sequel, but as a statement piece. Yamazaki and Toho are reportedly locking in a late 2026 global release window. Once again, just not confirmed yet, with production ramping up in New Zealand and Norway later this year. Once again, unconfirmed information. Full cast and story details remain under wraps. Ball's in your court, Yamazaki. I guess they're going to New Zealand and Norway. This is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. This is quoted from the Hollywood Reporter from Kaiju Kingdom. The Kaiju Kingdom. This is specifically on Instagram. If you load up Instagram, you follow the Kaiju Kingdom. It is their first post. They made this post 21 minutes ago. I would venture to assume this is probably very legitimate. But a few months ago, legitimate sources stated that we were going to get an announcement on a Shin Godzilla sequel. That never happened at SDCC. So, I'm going to say just take what I just said as a grain of salt. Take what Hollywood Reporter is saying as a grain of salt. Don't quote it yet. I do think it comes from a very verifiable source. I do trust. I do trust the Kaiju Kingdom. But we have been wrong this year. We have been. Multiple times. This year and the last few. Someone just posted screenshots of those final shots of the short, which is teasing the new Kaiju. People are saying Biolante in the short. To be fair, some of the silhouettes does make it look like the Biolante, like crocodilian lean over, and then the claw, but it doesn't look to be the correct size, you know? Other people are saying it actually sounds like a second Godzilla. So maybe. More photos of the Frog Tree Shin. Not Shin, excuse me, Burning Godzilla. Millennium. I'll say this. Frog Tree. If you want to make this a little bit more readily available, I will... not new angles, no. It's basically that same photo. I'll send it to you, Matt. I guess it's a little closer. Not much, though. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, that's actually it's way closer. Thanks to, once again, Kaiju Kingdom. So obviously they changed their display and stuff. So they added things, they unveiled things. So Frog Tree, if you want me to break my rule, my Safubi rule for non-Shin Godzilla Safubi, that's the type of sculpt that's going to win me over. That colorway as well, although is technically like movie accurate, just the way that Frog Tree does it, it looks really good. It looks like the Burning -1 that came out this year for Summer Wonderfest, without the blue. Can't wait to see that sculpt another color. Yeah, Frog Tree also needs to do Ghidorah. Frog Tree is a company I would consider breaking my non-Shin Godzilla Safubi rule for, but it would have to be a purchase in Japan. So, I would love to see that white colorway on this Millennium 2000. So, I think that would be really sexy. Let's see, what's going on with the stream? I'm gonna... Favorite candy? What is my favorite candy? I don't really have a favorite right now. My teeth are all bad, so like I'm not supposed to eat like sugar and candy and shit. But I mean, like, maybe it's because of work, but like Tutti Fruities and Tootsie Rolls, I like those. They're easy to snack on. I have a pile of them here on my desk. I'm surprised I haven't been eating these at all at stream. I'm very hungry, which is why I haven't actually finished this beer, because I'm hungry and I'm afraid that if I drink this all, I'm gonna get my the point of no return drunk, where no matter how much water I drink, no matter how much time between the next drink and the other, or if I eat food, I'm probably gonna be pretty tuckered out, you know. So I'm trying to be careful. Once again, I'm a lightweight. I don't drink almost at all anymore. The last time I like drank through a time between Twix, Kit Kat, and Reese's. See now, like you bring Reese's and Kit Kats into the discussion, then it's like, well, maybe I do. I just don't eat candy anymore. Like candy. Now I'm a pastry guy. I really love pastries, even though that fights against my diet and my gym workout. Because we've been getting swole. Yeah, look at that arm. Holy shit. If I would have done this at the beginning of the year, it wouldn't have looked that big. Like my gut's almost gone. What's left of the flab on my stomach is almost being, it's almost gone, and it's almost just ab. We've got a few more months of work, but I've already cut, most of what was there before I started working out at the gym. So candy's just not my main thing anymore. It helps. I've got bad teeth. Candy rots teeth. I don't want my teeth to rot faster than they already are rotting. Also trying to get healthy, trying to go to go into the gym, working out, doing this and that. So it's a double effect. So I don't have anything, but probably like Tutti Fruttis. Most of the flavors, honestly, probably end up landing as my favorites. What if -1 or -0 in Supernova? Jacob, they actually, I hesitate to use the word legally, but they actually can't do that. So there's been a long-standing, I don't want to say rumor, that Toho and Legendary have an agreement where they can't release a theatrical movie the same year that the other one comes out. So we know that Supernova comes out in 2027. In theory, if this agreement is true, which this has been said since fucking before we even knew Toho was coming back with Godzilla films with -1, this is like 2018, 2017, we've heard this. Or 2019, excuse me, 2019, 2020, is that they can't drop them in the same year. So -0, as long as that deal is still in standing, can't drop when Supernova does, which is why I think the Kaiju Kingdom post makes sense. Late 2026, it's basically going to mirror what we saw with -1 and the New Empire, where -1 dropped in November of 2023, and then Supernova was May of 2024. One of the two. It dropped in 2024. So I think basically we're going to see the same thing, where we're going to see this film. It is interesting that they posted that they actually don't have a release date yet. But what if it can happen? It still won't happen. They can't do that, because then each movie is competing with itself. Toho themselves, when we take out the Godzilla and like the heart and stuff, Toho, as a lot of us know, they like money. Godzilla is making money, so they're doing more Godzilla. When Godzilla doesn't make money, they don't do a lot of Godzilla stuff. Legendary makes them a lot of money with these MonsterVerse films. They do. That's undeniable. They make money. Obviously, they wouldn't let Legendary continue to put movies out if they didn't make money. -1 made a lot of money. More money than most of the MonsterVerse films. I don't know if it beat out the global count for 2014. I'm sure it did, but just in case, because I don't know that for a fact. Basically, if they're competing on the same day, they're not going to make as much money. But if they separate them within a few months release, this movie can make, -0 can make $400 million, or $400 million, and then in a few months, Legendary can drop Supernova, and Supernova can make $400 million instead of them both clashing at the same time and then only making 200 billion a piece. So they can quadruple their profits, double and double if they release them separate. So it's, I don't say this to be insultive, but it's basic economics and basic business is you don't want to throw all of your releases all at the same time. You don't want to drop everything on the same day. It's the same thing with YouTube. If I have a very hype review, so like when I got Godzilla 2000, it would have been like if I dropped Godzilla 2000 and if I would have gone Legion on the same day, I would have dropped the reviews on the same day. Although that day's analytics would have done really good for my channel, overall it would have been bad because now you have people splitting against watching one and then the other. So one review would hurt the other because someone is going to click on the other one first. And with YouTube, and same thing with movies and theaters and tickets and streaming, you want everyone to get to your movie first, fast, quick, and you want them all on this, and then the next week or the next month you want them on the other thing. It's kind of the problem with what Marvel was doing, where they were releasing too much, to where we basically had a release every month, whether it was from Disney Plus, the movie theater, and that's why Marvel hurt so much, because they were dropping movies too much. It's also a quality thing. I'm guessing the stream's getting close to end, the way that they're kind of talking. But so it can happen, it could happen, but Toho as a business will never do that. Was in like a MCU. I don't know. I feel like I call it the minus verse because that's basically the same thing between the two titles of the movies that we have is the minus verse. Even though it might not be officially called that, we will absolutely see if Toho calls it anything. It might call like the Yamazaki verse. Once again, we don't know what they're going to call it. But if it were to be in a universe, I feel like Yamazaki's film adaptations are becoming whatever, an MCU version of like the Godzilla universe, which when you look at it, is it really fair to call it MCU? Because that's what the Showa films were. They didn't always reference each other, but we do know canonically and just from Toho, all the Showa films happen. Like they all happen with each other. They're all sequels to each other. Besides Destroy All Monsters, which is the only exception because technically Destroy All Monsters takes place in the 1900s or early 2000s. So technically that one's like a zoom ahead. But besides Destroy All Monsters, you scrunch the rest. Oh, it does. We're at the end, it looks like. It does look like it. Like all of it. The stream actually does look done now. But we'll see here, and then we'll pound out our last few drinks. I'll probably finish this drink and a half, and then I might finish another one. Wait. What's that? The 17th? What's the 17th through the 19th? Well, never getting anything like Showa again. I don't know. I think this minus universe. I think even if the next film after -0 isn't Yamazaki directed, I feel like they can still throw it all in the same universe. I think the thing that they need to do, and that's a thing a lot of the community has been saying, is they just need to change the eras in which these films take. So hopefully -0 is at least a few years removed from -1's timeline. But then like say Higuchi does, or Higuchi comes in and does one, and it's not a minus. It has nothing to do with Shin, and it's only for this universe. Make it in the 70s, make it in the 80s, make it in the 90s, make it modern. Hell, do it. Even Rebirth of Mothra wasn't canon into the Heisei. Yeah, yeah. Rebirth is its own universe, but that was the whole point, was Godzilla's end. So they tried to bring back the other kaiju. But it kind of shows like the Godzilla community, and I say Godzilla community in full retort of Godzilla community, that everyone just wants Godzilla. you know, for better or for worse. So, what is this? 17th through the 19th? What if Shinji Higuchi did GMK? It would have been insane. Shinji Higuchi. Film would have been bonkers. Oh, okay. So yeah, the stream is done. So this page that it's on right now, not that you guys can see it on my screen, um, because I'm covering it all up. We'll switch back to the normal one now. It is saying that this is available to be viewed until 7 p.m. Monday, November 17th. So you basically have 2 weeks to watch this stream, and then after that, it's gone forever. I say forever very confidently because last year's 70th anniversary live stream has not returned. It's gone. They saved some of the other years, but for the most part, these are gone. So, another hour and a half. So what, we in just under 8 hours? Is that what I'm seeing? So I started at 8:45, so 8:45 to 9:45, 9:45 to 10:45, 10:45 to 11:45, 11:45 to 12:45, 12:45 to 1:45, 1:45 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. In 24 minutes, 8 hours I streamed tonight. Not that YouTube can quote me, because obviously the first 6 hours is gone. Literally, Thanos snapped out of existence until my my plea basically is fought, which they're gonna tell me no. They're gonna say no. So, what if Shinji Higuchi did GMK? I would have. I mean, I think GMK is more than fine by itself. I would like to see Higuchi in something else. Whether it is related to Shin or the long rumored sequel slash requel to Shin. Yep, there it goes. The stream is done. 7 hours is what it clocked in at, basically. Yeah, just under 8. This is one of the shorter Godzilla streams, to be honest. Yep, she's done. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the live stream's done. We're sitting at 3 subscribers. Wow. Y'all are amazing. Or not 3 subscribers. Three active viewers right now. So sad. Yeah. That was interesting. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed. Because one, there was a few Shin Godzilla reveals, but they just weren't on stream. I will say not getting the Shin Godzilla 10th anniversary logo is suspicious. But I think maybe what they're doing is they took a little bit of criticism from last year. I do remember on X, on Facebook, and on Instagram, people were kind of complaining that the anniversary for last year felt like it was just mainly like a teaser for this year, for Burning Godzilla. And that upset some people because obviously, although it's 70th anniversary, they felt like some of the other years didn't get represented. Where this year, a lot of Burning Godzilla 75, we got some 93 as well, and then we got, a completely new, short exclusive Burning Millennium. Mainly a little disappointed. I I don't want to say I'm like disappointed, but like that did kind of end a little soft, I will say. Oh, Matt, you be careful with that. Look at who posted that though. Look at who posted that. I would like to see that though. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. That would be the best case scenario, but the person who posted that um, is, a little questionable. You know, I know. We all know. I would like to see that though. If that post is real, I'm not going to talk about it here on the chat because it's you know, Kaiju Kingdom. I trust that specific account on X. I don't necessarily trust, but if that's coming from other sources as well, then obviously I'll give that person's credit. Now, one thing I will say, I am admittingly pretty disappointed on is that they did the thing, and I don't think supposedly that's what the host said after the reveal, but I haven't heard anything from the GPC yet. Okay. So that might be just something that we're waiting for translation on. Okay. So I'll put that in the maybe folder on what's going on RAR. Basically, someone who is right and wrong, 50-50 on news, said that Godzilla Minus Zero will feature a combination of CGI, miniatures, and suitmation. Now, when you mention suitmation in this modern era of Godzilla, I don't. Godzilla's design would have to be changed completely. Minus One's design does not work as a suit. So, all right, Jacob, have a wonderful day. We'll see you later, buddy. Thanks for joining and hanging out the whole stream, or a lot of this stream, and then you were there a lot of the last one as well. Actually, I wish I could get into the other stream so I could thank everyone that commented on that stream as well once we get to the end here. So, Suitmation would be interesting, but that tells me that Godzilla's design is probably going to be so drastically different, unless it's the kaiju. If there's an enemy kaiju, I know Yamazaki has talked about it. Even Toho themselves has been like, yeah, it would be really cool to do an enemy kaiju. We don't have confirmation on it yet, so let's just not talk. I would say it's very likely. It would be pretty hard for them to do 2 solo films back to back. Doesn't mean it can't happen, though. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but it makes me wonder what is going on with the enemy kaiju and Godzilla. If Suitmation is a conversation, a discussion, or if it's something that they've actually already done. It's a good thing, kind of a bad thing. I really like Minus One's design. I also agree that Minus One's design should be completely different from Minus Zero. Or not completely different, but it should be very different. And I'm still going with the fact that they are going to use this to grow and to be a universe with different directors, but it'll still be in the same verse, kind of like the MonsterVerse. And they're going to make Godzilla look more heroic, kind of like what they did in the Showa series in the early years, where they made him progressively look nicer. Not that I'm saying that they're going to make him look super nice and goofy with big eyes and a big smiley face and does tail slides and stuff, but I do think they will make him look closer to the ride's design, or take it even a few steps further to make him, be more of a protagonist. Because I look at this Godzilla, this is not a protagonist. This is a mean Godzilla, right? Even 2000, this design. Does this look like a hero to you? Like, really, does this look like a heroic Godzilla to you? Or does this look like an anti-hero, kind of, he's not here for the humans or even necessarily to defend Earth because it's Earth, but to defend the world because it's his, Obviously, Shin could never work as a hero. He's just, yeah. I don't want to say the limits of the design, but and obviously 2000 isn't like the meanest looking of the designs. but at the same time, like when you watch 2000, there's not a point in 2000 English or in Japanese that I'm like, damn, he's the hero of the world, he's going to protect the humans. I look at him and he's like, he's a creature of creation, he's a, you know, a beast. He's, you know, he's not here to protect me, he's just here to do whatever he's doing. Yeah, so the stream total, both streams combined, was over 8 hours, because the Godzilla stream itself was 7 hours and 45 minutes. So basically at this point I've been streaming basically for 8 hours, because they went live a little early. They went live about 10-15 minutes early. Basically when I went live, they went live, they just let it play. Hollywood Reporter saying Minus Zero is going to be darker, larger scale, and expansive monster mythoscope. Curious. Oh, do they have like a full article? Sweet. I will. Oh, whoa. What the hell? I clicked on the notification. Oh, did you delete that real quick? Or. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, let's. I'll give this a read. I don't necessarily plan on quitting the stream quite yet, as long as you guys want to stay here. Imagine GMK Godzilla in the 73 space. See, and that's like. It just. I can't even see it because it doesn't work like that. I just can't see GMK in even an anti hero role. Like, GMK is just a monster. Well, this was posted at 10 p.m. So it was still after the announcement, because obviously Minus Zero came right at the beginning of it. Um, oh, I can't read too much of it because it's just got ads and ads and ads. Revving up to roar again. Legendary Tokyo-based Toho Studio share the title. Style Godzilla Minus Zero in the Oscar-winning Return of the Helm, unveiled during this year's, where a teaser logo and a first look artwork was revealed, both leaning into the stark black and white brushstrokes that mirror the minimalistic design and sensibility of the previous film's branding. Drew the emblem, signaling creative continuity while potentially teasing a darker, more expansive monster mythos, which is actually where I feel like they should go. I feel like these films should get darker. Not gonna land with everyone, obviously, but that's kind of what the Legendary is for. And then if this Minus verse and the Legend Monster verse isn't working for you, ouch. That's what I'm gonna say. It's just ouch. New benchmark. According to insiders. Oh, and there's the full cast under wraps. Yeah. Building upon the success. It does interest me that they specifically state it is a. Yeah, I see that too, Matt, where people are saying that they see the woman praying. Could be Yumiko, Yumiko. Could be. I see it when it's actually drawn out like that. I didn't see it before, but my eyes have been getting worse and worse as time goes on. So imagine Manila and GMK spot. That would be. See, now that makes sense though. Manila is like the creation of evil. He's the god of destruction. You know, in Dragon Ball they have 13 or 14 gods of destructions, and the Godzilla sphere in the multiverse, you know, that singular point and the Ava collab almost like unofficially confirms that there's a multiverse, that all of these films are in relation in the multiverse theory, you know, kind of like the MCU, and how Ava works with its continually spinning clock, where they're all kind of the same. They have a start point, and you know, they keep going until the story ends, when they finally reach the best ending. GMK Manila would be the quintessential villain of any Godzilla movie. So, yeah. I am a little disappointed. They didn't even bring the Condor up on the stream. They didn't bring the two new Pose figures. They didn't talk about the two movie monster series that were literally just announced. You know, the Mothra larva set and the Burning 2019. Of course, anyone who's a Movie Monster Series collector, that's like 100%. Now you don't have to buy that 2019. I did see the Kitty collab. This Santiago, yeah, those are good. And the best slash worst thing about that collab, Larissa loves uh, that brand. She's not big into like Hello Kitty herself, but into the goth version, the Santiago uh, character, the kind of the goth one, the one that wears the black and pink. Larissa really likes her, and you already know that they're going to be putting all of their characters with Godzilla. So I feel like when that collab drops, whether it's when I'm in Japan or when I'm not in Japan, I'm going to have to try to get something or a few things of that collab just for Larissa. I'm basically going to have to buy doubles because I'm going to have to buy myself something and I'm going to have to buy her something. And if we both like the same thing, I'll have to get one of one for each of us. So whether it's keychains, tags, figures, standees. Larissa's really, she likes that stuff. So it's going to be cool to see that once it pops up. So yeah, Burning 2000 looks really cool. I like the way the mouth lights up when he's roaring right at the end. But yeah, it's this Godzilla Fest stream. Now that's all over. Obviously, very exciting because I got to spend it with all of you guys, and for that alone, it makes it more worth than anything. Um, that makes it infinitely better than it could have ever been, anyways. The the fake out with -0 at the very beginning of the stream was exciting. Once again, a little interesting to see that one, the film isn't done yet with like real filming locations. That does make me raise a pretty big eyebrow, I'm not gonna lie. And then not even, besides Hollywood Reporter, Toho themselves didn't say, hey, this is maybe when we're gonna release it. That I do find a little suspicious, but I would say that 2026 is probably when it's gonna come out. Otherwise, maybe that agreement has changed and they can drop it in 2027. I just feel like they wouldn't do that because they know that this sequel is going to be busy no matter what, and Supernova should be able to perform fairly well. So I feel like, they're money-wise, they're going to want to split it, So, look, when you tilt the G in the logo, it looks like Shimo's head, so Ebera is confirmed. See, we keep joking about Ebera, but like the weird low hype kaiju for this monster or for this film verse would probably work better than Ghidorah, Rodan, Mechagodzilla. Biollante, Hedorah, Ebera, Giant Condor, Rodan. I would actually say out of the big guys, Rodan and Mothra are probably the two likely. I would like to see Yamazaki attempt to tackle, or someone in this universe to tackle. Once again, CGI just makes the flying kaiju easier to handle. Yeah, and then and that's the same. Like, they can do multiple kaiju in this movie, and they could just literally make it fodder for Godzilla. They could just be like, oh yeah, Godzilla revived, he's fully fine. Do not disrespect Bio or Hedorah. Yeah. I don't think Biollante or Hedorah would be fodder. One, because Yamazaki really loves Hedorah. He's talking about it multiple times. In fact, a lot of the team that worked on -1 has also agreed that Hedorah is one of their favorite kaiju, I believe. If that's a misquote, please let me know and correct me. To the introduction fodder or like a mid scene, because I feel like what's gonna happen with this movie, I feel like Godzilla's not going to be there for a lot of it. In fact, I think Godzilla is going to be revealed after whatever this as Matt just said, the second, I'm going to put it in quotes, second monster. I feel like whatever the enemy kaiju or kaiju plural might be will become first. I think what's going to happen is they're going to be like, oh shit, something's going to happen. And they're going to be like, oh, we need Godzilla now. And when they're realizing that and they're trying to figure out a way, they're doing the Heisei thing. Godzilla is just going to come out of nowhere, anyways, fully regenerated. Uh, Basically, do the Heisei thing again, where, yeah, he's going to kill this enemy kaiju, but then he's also going to destroy Japan more. Um, I feel like that's maybe how it's going to work, but we'll see. If it's supposed to be like a monster mythos, darker film, multiple kaiju being in there and starting off with Godzilla being the intro being, oh, Godzilla's revived, this is what he looks like, and then showing him fighting a few low tier kaiju and just killing them really quick, monsterverse style, would work. And I feel like that would set up the darker tone of, oh, Godzilla revived, he's still not a hero, he's still not good, he's still very territorial. It's just, instead of taking out Japan right now, he's defending Japan, once again, defending Japan from other kaiju enemies. Anguirus would also, I feel like, fits into this universe perfectly. I'm still convinced Hedorah. Hedorah, the more time goes on, I think Hedorah and like Biollante and Anguirus are like probably my top 3 picks. Once we get a little closer to this movie coming out, or maybe even this week, I might do like a tier list of who I want to see and who I'm honestly thinking about. Maybe we can do like a big live stream and let all of you guys talk about what you guys want to see, and I can talk about it too. And I feel like that would be fun. The Anguirus fans are going to be pissed. Hopefully not. Once again, I would really like to see Anguirus, even if he was in theory just a quick kill. Anguirus is never going to rival Godzilla. So as a guy who just watched 55, less than 24 hours ago, I feel like Anguirus never rivaled Godzilla. I feel like maybe when 55 came out, obviously Anguirus seemed like a threat, but now with all these movies being out and watching 55, at no point did I ever feel like Godzilla was going to lose against Anguirus in 55. But that's also my opinion and my take from it too, of course. So, not to put anyone down. But I feel like Anguirus has never been a proper rival to Godzilla, which obviously they could win. They could go and change for this movie, and I feel like that would be really good. Ooh, RJ Godzilla 81, a pair of slightly reimagined Gargantuas could work too. Gargantuas, Hedorah, Biollante really work in the dark atmosphere, because instead of like slightly reimagined in the way of saying anyone, if the human characters like, have been infused with Godzilla cells so they could survive the Ginza attack for the few people that they did, Yumiko at the end, they could just start having all of those patients reveal that there's multiple, like let's say there's 5, keep it a little tame, and then each one proactively starts turning into Gargantuas. They start growing and deforming and then eventually mutate into a Gargantua. That would also be a good idea. It would be dark, obviously, with Yumiko. Seeing her slowly change, mutate, die, and then be reborn into a gargantuan state would be pretty emotionally heavy, I feel like. And I feel like that is a great idea, RJ Godzilla. I actually love that idea. I'm going to kind of keep that in the back of my mind. I have not given the Gargantuas enough thought into this movie, and I feel like that would really, multiple ideas with Gargantuas would work. Watch it be Ghidorah again. It could be. Once again, Toho likes money. Ghidorah prints money. It's just how it is. Well, mostly prints money. We have learned from the ride now that the figures don't necessarily always print money. But the Ghidorah just being there is a good way to get people into seats, at least. Godzilla and Anguirus were fighting nonstop for 2 million years. My head came. Well, they were frozen, and then they start fighting again. So it's not like Anguirus isn't durable. It's just like at no point in that fight, when I was watching it personally, do I feel like Godzilla's going to lose that fight. Now, that might just be my mind being like, well, duh, it's Godzilla, and obviously we know how this movie ends. But I don't get that feeling. Now, of course, I could be interpreting something that our filmmakers are trying to interpret, trying to bestow upon the audience, and I'm just missing that. And that could be possible too. It could be possible too. It feels so fun and exciting to have two new Godzilla movies coming out again, and a new Godzilla manga, Monarch Season 2, which once again is dead, but we kind of got quietly confirmed that it got delayed, and a new spin-off being worked on. Yeah. Yeah. We're in another, people like to make fun of Toho because they're like, oh, they say that they're going to do all of this, but since April last year we haven't got a new movie. um but now we're sitting here again where it's like, oh, we're probably going to get a new movie, wait 6 or 7 months. So like in a year I would expect Minus Zero to be out, and then literally within 6 7 months we'll have Supernova. By this time next year we should actually know what's going on with Supernova. Now, whether that's Playmates leaking toys again, or Legendary handles the advertising a little bit better for this movie. I feel like they went forwards and backwards at the same time. Like, obviously, Godzilla versus Kong, the advertisement was super short. We had basically 3.5 months of advertisement. They learned from King of the Monsters, which was a full year ahead of time, which they should not do again. I don't want to see too much about Supernova at SDC next year. I don't want to see too much about Supernova at Godzilla Fest next year. I don't want to. I do. Seeing as it's coming out in April, this November, December time slot really works. And that works advertisement wise in the US because obviously the Super Bowl is almost always in February. So you can advertise for it there. Because that's basically, if it's not coming out after July for SDCC, so SDCC is your main advertisement point. It's New York Comic Con for the US at least. This only works for the US films. So it's New York Comic Con or it's the Super Bowl is your big advertisement moments. So it would, Supernova's first like really big trailer, makes sense, that Christmas, New Year's, Super Bowl time. Minus Zero, we have no idea on, because obviously they're not even done filming yet. They couldn't even give us like a real, like maybe 2026. We're just getting that from Hollywood Insider. So, and maybe Minus Zero might not come out for a long time. If this deal with Legendary still works, we might not see Minus Zero until 2028. Could be. Hopefully not. I feel like after showing the logo, you kind of have to give us something. But really, there's only 13 months to finish this film, finish post on this film, think about the advertisement campaign, start the advertisement campaign, build up hype for the movie, and then drop the movie. We've only got 13 months. Once again, I really do feel like even if that deal with Legendary doesn't exist, I don't see them dropping 2 brand new movies. How long was it until Ghidorah was in King of the Monsters? 2017. We knew Ghidorah was going to be in the next film after Kong Skull Island premiered, because that is the end credits to Kong Skull Island, is the 100% confirmation that King Ghidorah, Mothra, and King Rodan were in the next Godzilla film. That's also where we had 100% confirmation that King Skull Island was a part of the Monsterverse, even though it had Monarch leading up to it, and we saw that. We didn't 100% know. Oh yeah, no, it's all good. And Gears didn't even throw show Godzilla 50 miles away. He was cooked from the start. Yeah, regrettably. Anguirus was basically doomed to fail, which is sad. Because then, Anguirus isn't seen until 68. No, 67? Isn't he like one of the quick shots in there? He's just like in there for like a second or two. Anguirus, isn't he? Or isn't it not until 68? Was the first movie that made me a fan. I didn't see any of its marketing or anything. Man, you were lucky. The wait for 2019 was long. We saw it. So one, King of the Monsters was supposed to come out in 2018. Well, actually, I think it was sooner because it was 2014. Skull Island was supposed to come out really quick. King of the Monsters was supposed to come out really quick, and it got delayed multiple years until 2019. But the first full blown trailer was shown at SDCC 2018, and it was just like a long time. The movie died because of the trailers came out too early. It was 2014 was a huge success, all things considered. And then they tried to replicate that advertisement campaign, but with 2019 not being as hidden as 2014, like Godzilla's not hidden, Godzilla's in the film. The villains are in the film, where 2014 was consistently trying to hide these things from us. It just didn't work, and it ended up being too long of a wait, and then the film was just kind of, in my opinion, just a little too flat. It felt like two movies wrapped up into one and then released. Even if they can't reach the 26 marks, that means 27 will be heavily MonsterVerse focused, plus the shows, unless Toho has a show anime planned in 27. See, and now that's the other interesting thing. We started getting Odyssey in 2025. Typically with anime adaptations, big anime adaptations, they're within 2 to 3 years from the Japanese start of the manga. So if Toho is planning to do any feature for Odyssey that's not manga, 2017 would be my pick for the absolute earliest. Once again, we have to see how well the manga does. I think it's still a little too early because it hasn't done well enough to be able to be like, oh yeah, it's going to get an anime. It hasn't done that well yet. It's not a shonen level yet. And even shonen have to do extremely well to be able to be pushed that far. And even still, it takes 3 to 5 years to get an anime. Kaiju number 8, Dawn to Dawn. These have started years and years ago in Japan. And, within the last 2 years have finally just started getting their anime adaptations. Wasn't Craving Italian? Yeah, no, it wasn't. So it's possible. But then you're right, like, we've got Monarch Season 2, which is supposed to be crazy. And also probably going to somehow have consequences that lead into Supernova. Maybe. Hopefully. I remember all the rumors of Monarch Season 1 was supposed to lead into New Empire, and then it literally didn't. It did nothing. It led into 21 very well. I feel like it follows into Godzilla vs. Kong because it reveals that Skull Island's fucking destroyed and Kong is obviously pissed. After, even though this is the comic canon, after beating Quetzalcoatl, and then Quetzal starting the permanent hurricane around Skull Island. Even though that's the comic canon, obviously not the canon for the show. I'm sure the show will go into detail once we get into season 2 about why Skull Island is like that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that's how the show opens, is Kong either fighting a kaiju or something or other. That would be my assumption. But obviously nothing's confirmed because I don't think there's any details on season 2 besides the fact that filming is done, it got delayed, and then we know basically the returning cast and then some of the new cast, and that's it. Otherwise, it's been pretty kept under wraps, like it's actually Monarch. Winky face. I hope for Monarch to come back. Once it's like Singular Point, I don't want to see it go. But we'll obviously see what Toho / Legendary / Apple TV Plus decides to do. Anything else? Is anyone else seeing any any other details or links? There's the goodie bag got revealed. So the goodie bag maybe had the Condor in it. That looks like possibly. Someone posted the goodie bag and it had a bunch of things, and they had Condor right next to it. There's someone in Japan talking about Burger King. So that's interesting. Let's see. I'm not seeing any other leaks. A lot of reactions. Most people seem pretty pleased with what was announced and what was teased. Obviously, Kaiser Ghidorah revealed. No Kaiser Ghidorah, regrettably. Not yet, at least. We could still see Kaiser, don't get me wrong. Once again, Tamashii Nations event. But now I feel like Kiju Breaker Mechagodzilla is very likely to be at Tamashii Nations in 2 weeks for Monster Arts. So I'm glad that they did do something like this, so now I can update what I think, my wish list, but also like my realistic list for what we could see. I'll still say Orga probably is not an unrealistic option for Monster Arts at the Tamashii Nations 2025, Tamashii Nation 2025. I don't think Orga's really moved. Kaiser also, I feel like it would be one of the two. I don't think they would do both. Orga is going to be a $250 release. Kaiser is a $400 plus $500, $600 release, easily. It's just being realistic at this point. Same thing with Orga. Actually, Orga might honestly be more. Orga might be a $300 release, just for how like big it is. But we'll see. We'll see. Since we brought up 55 Anguirus, from that is like top 4. 55 Anguirus would be a crazy monster. Honestly, both 55 suits would be perfect for Monster Arts. I would love to see a 55 Godzilla and an Anguirus. I agree, because the movie Monster Series 55 is Anguirus is like crazy. Let's see what Legion's doing, since we're at the end of the stream. You know, we're at the end. Okay, so it has left the state that it was in, which that state isn't very far away from mine. In fact, some would say it's right next to it. It is very likely that although it isn't scanned in, Legion is in town. I'm just assuming. But I would say it's very likely that my SH Monster Arts Legion is in town. In fact, I would say it is probably getting ready to get processed at the Amazon I used to work at. It'll go through there, and then it'll go to a delivery station, and then it'll be delivered to me. I would say within 12 hours, I will probably have Legion on my desk, and we'll be gearing up to do that live stream, which it's a very good thing that we did not get copyright striked, because I would definitely not have wanted to wait a full week to be able to post my, or to be able to do the live stream for Legion. I would not have been able to wait. So, I can't believe we streamed for 8 hours and I only had 1 6-pack. I bought 5 6-packs of beer and I had 1. And I'm not even done with it technically, because we still have to finish all of these in celebration for this Godzilla Fest. Really quick, where are we sitting at views? We have 4. Someone just joined. Welcome in. We're basically at the end of the stream, everybody. I'm gonna pound the last few beers that we owe. We owe 1 whole beer for being taken down for copyright at basically the very fucking end of my stream, after streaming for 6.5 hours straight. And then we're gonna finish this beer as a celebration, and then I might do 1 more as a thank you. You know, as just like a general. There was actually a lot of rules that I made that didn't even get touched, which is kind of why I didn't mention it. Ooh. God damn it, Matt. That's funny. Manila and -0. I would take it. I don't necessarily think going a Son of Godzilla route would be a bad option. Maybe a little too early. Just finish it for me because I can't drink. Okay. So this is the one for getting copyright slapped in the face and having the stream taken down from me personally. I didn't even get like a warning and being like, hey, we think you're breaching your third party rules. It was literally just, hey, your stream's done. So this is the full beer. This opened, not a drink has been taken out of this. Better not abuse this kid. Hopefully not. Hopefully Godzilla will have enough character. So let's just down. I'm gonna do this all in one go, okay? We're pounding this drink, baby. Pound it, pound it, pound it for Godzilla Day. Happy Godzilla Day. It is officially Godzilla Day in the US. Happy Godzilla Day, everyone. Excuse me. You can see it drained down my neck and chest. Excuse me. Oh, that was awful. We're not going to vomit, though. I didn't even officially make a rule about vomiting. I was going to say if I vomit, like, back right into the driver's, the streaming seat, not, drivers were not operating any vehicles or anything. I'm way past sobriety limit, so. Woo. That was disgusting, by the way. And now the worst thing about this is what we still have for y'all are amazing. Y'all are the best. Not only did I not drink even half of the beers that I had bought for this, the other thing is I have to get these all back down to my refrigerator to store them. And if you guys haven't bought these 6-packs yet, I do forewarn y'all, if you're over the age of 21, that the plastic rim on these does not hold the cans very well. They will fall out if you're not holding them at the cans from the bottom. If you're holding it like... See? Right there. I couldn't even pick it up. They just fall right out. Not just the center ones. I've had all of the cans fall out of their, anti-turtle plastic rings. So, be careful if you're an adult and you're buying these. Ooh, I'm going to regret that these last beer and a half. I might actually not take another one. That last full beer is not... It's already not agreeing with me. Which I know some of that is just I have to burp. But like now I was hungry. Now I don't feel hungry anymore. Not typically a good sign for me when I'm drinking alcohol. It normally suggests that I'm either going to feel like dog doo-doo or I'm going to puke. Man, oh man. What a great Godzilla Fest, guys. Was it the best? No. Was it as good as last year's? No. Was it as good as 23's? Probably not, no. I will say, and there's plenty of people like me as well, Matt can say, I'm sure all you guys can say, we don't watch the streams for the toys exclusively. Like, I'm here enjoying this because I just enjoy Godzilla. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I like doing all of this. Suffice to say, sometimes when they don't necessarily... There's been no lives on this. This is the US, the North American one, so there's no live streams. When they don't include, when there's not a lot of toy reveals, it does kind of feel a little weird. And this one specifically, there really wasn't a lot. And when they were showing off toys, the camera wasn't working, and it looked kind of like dog do. So if I had a criticism and a recommendation for them, it's they literally did what I think they should have done 20 minutes after they did that. So they brought the camera on there looking at the displays, and then they brought out a table with toys on it. basically the enshrined figures and small stuff, small cheap stuff. Um, and that's what they should do for reveals. I get you can't do that with everything. You have to be careful depending on X pluses. You can't really. I would not trust any monster arts on a table like that. If you just have a bunch of monster arts on a table and you lift the table up, I would not trust them. So I do understand why they maybe wouldn't want to do that with most of their products, but not having a Godzilla store stream and announcing at least a few things, it's a little weird. Once again, the other criticism, not even getting like a timeline for minus zero, is weird, although I am very thankful that we got the logo and we got the name. And I do think that's more than enough. It does feel kind of weird because they've done this before. For minus one, we got the logo, but then we got the date as well. And we didn't get the date this time. So it feels a little weird, personally for me. But then, like, even not being able to translate what they were saying during the discussion panels, I feel like the discussion panels were solid as shit. I'm sure if I spoke fluent Japanese, those discussion panels were amazing. I mean, they were amazing, and I can't understand them, The other criticism is with the Battle Line stream, or the Battle Line section, is that they used like a good solid 20 to 40 minutes in between the new unit reveals and the custom battles. I feel like what they could have done, not knowing how it's actually like set up and how it works there, because they voted for the teams that they would use against the kids. They could have done that pre-stream, and they could have cut down some time, I feel like, because that did feel a little jumbled and like out of control, in my opinion. Not bad, but just they could have optimized their time a little bit better. Now you could say, well, if they would have optimized that, they would have, let's just say, taken 20 minutes off of it, then the stream would have just ended 20 minutes earlier, which is true and fair, which for most people that aren't on overnight schedule like me would have helped other people. But I'm on overnight schedule, so whether it's 7.5 hours or 9.5 hours, it doesn't really affect me. Excuse me, because I'm going to be up. Hiccups. So just a few little criticisms, and then just kind of the meat. A little bit more meat. I still think this was a really good Godzilla Fest, and I would not have changed it for the world for how this 2-part live stream turned out. That's where I feel like we really just like blew all my expectations out of the way. So even if this stream didn't do well, our side, my streaming, even though we did get taken down, now I've got like a full-blown warning on the channel from Toho, the company that I don't want to piss off. Excuse me, it's okay. It's okay, and I'm very proud of it. Once again, I have it recorded. It's on my PC, and if I feel obliged to, we will see how Premiere Rush handles it. I would like to do like a cut down highlights reel, but when you look at 8 hours worth of content and you have to sift through that 9 hours of content at this point, for me, it's basically going to be 9 hours by the time that this live stream is done. My live stream, it's basically 9 hours of content. It's going to take a while, and also there's going to be a lot of fucking padding. So we'll see. I'm not going to promise anything. Excuse me. I'm not going to promise anything. Once again, I can't promise that that the 6.5 hour live stream will be able to come back. It's in fact, I highly doubt, the actual raw video of it, but we'll see what I can do if YouTube answers me back quick enough, which they won't because I'm too small of a channel. I'll see what I can do. We'll see if we can't get maybe an edited version of that stream, a shortened version of that stream uploaded. Because even now, like with my new internet at a max of 300 download, like the upload on a 6-hour video alone without 0 edits, just raw, would probably take like, I don't know, half a day, maybe more. Probably more, because like it takes 30-40 minutes to upload, an edited 4K review that's only 9 minutes, I think, is what I tested out. I think a 9-minute video was about 40 minutes. The Frozen Shin video was like 28, I think, and that was only 4 minutes. So just to put that into perspective. But that's also using 4K footage, going through an editor that's then processed. It's a bigger file, where this raw file at before edits, so I think that's it, everybody. We're at 3 viewers. It's at the end of the day. I am obviously hiccuping up a storm. I can't really control myself right now. And honestly, if I'm being just flat out honest, I'm fucking exhausted. In a good way. I feel very pleased. I feel very satisfied with this live stream. So we're going to drink the last bit of this. There's not much left. About where my fingers are is what's left. So about a third, probably. A third. We're going to pound this, and then that's it. I did have a Godzilla Day video planned. Didn't get to work on it almost at all, and now with the Legion live stream tonight, probably not going to be happening. In fact, it's going to be kind of weird not to post like an actual like Godzilla Day video, but it's also the 71st anniversary, and this live stream kind of covers it too. I'm very happy. 71 years of Godzilla. I'm feeling like we're in a pretty damn good spot as a community. I'm very, very thankful for everyone who took time out of their night to watch my stream. Whether it's with the Godzilla stream or with another YouTuber stream, or if you just watched my stream exclusively, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate all of you. Now I can't go back to that other stream and see everyone who commented, so I'm gonna try to sit here and think about who was all on the last stream and thank them, and then go into who's in this chat's comments so I can thank everyone. First of all, thanks for everyone between part 1 and 2. Thank you guys so much. See, I'm already losing it. James, there was a James in the last stream. Anna. Those are the only 2 names honestly I can remember. And then Thirsty Thursday Toys, Adam, my good friend, he was in the last stream as well. Sharktopus, Alex, Jacob, Matt, Kaiju Fanatic, excuse me, hiccup right in the middle of that. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys all for joining, and everyone else that did as well in the last stream, commenting or no commenting, it doesn't matter. Thank you guys so much for supporting the stream. I'm gonna have this last big drink as a toast to all of you guys, the Godzilla community, Godzilla himself or itself, and everything else. Cheers, everyone. Oh my god, that was even worse than the full one. But that one's been open for a little bit, so that makes sense. Alright, y'all. Once again, Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for me. I talked about it a little bit at stream. We'll just mention it here really quick. The thank you video that they posted that was then changed to be the reveal for the new movie. It almost feels like an era ending. You know, the -1/70th anniversary era. The video quotes it at 2022. Technically, this channel started really in 2021. And I kind of feel like it's the end of an era not only for Godzilla, but also for the channel as well as we move into the next cycle of movies. And this time it really feels like a band's album cycle is ending. It feels like Slipknot, you know, has ended the end so far, and 25th anniversary self-titled album arc, which they officially technically have, I'm pretty sure as well. So it's crazy. So this, from today on, I would like to consider it the next era for Godzilla and the next era for this channel. Things will come in slow, but we get to start it off with a pretty damn big bang. SH Monster, its Legion, live unboxing, hopefully within the next 12 hours. So keep your eyes out, keep your eyes peeled. I will try to let you guys know as soon as possible. I am going to do a few photo shoots with it pre-unboxing. So I'm going to have a little bit of time to let you guys know before I go live. Specifically, there was a few pages on Facebook and Instagram that made some very interesting photo ideas. Took some very interesting photo themes with their pets, with just the box of the monster arts. I'll have it by the live stream. There was a person on Facebook that posted it with their cat, like sitting on the box. Obviously, I can't do that with Tater. Tater's too large, but this box is supposed to be very large, so I want to take a photo next to Tater. Also, I'll be taking it out of the shipper. So before we get into the live stream, the shipper will not be attached. It will literally be the actual Monster Arts box on display when we open up the stream. The stream is going to be long, because Legion is just it's gonna take a lot of time to get Legion out, get all the pieces out, just look at it, get those first initial thoughts, and then end the stream. So Legion stream, hopefully, I would hope within the next 12 hours. Amazon's been kind of weird. There was one day where I didn't have an Amazon delivery until fucking 7 o'clock at night, which isn't good for me because by that point I'm getting ready for work, you know, because I go to work tonight, you know. So Legion unboxing stream tonight. Start off the new era of the channel / Godzilla, even though it's not even, Legion's not Godzilla related, but you know, it does feel like a new era. I feel like I'm getting close to having my channel ready finally. Good. I hope so. I'm excited to see what you do. Matt, I'm very excited to see what you do and what you bring to the table. Obviously, as a friend and as a fellow content creator, you know, however you want to look at it, however you want to word it, I'm very, very interested and excited to see what you bring. That's the one thing I forgot to do when Adam was here. Adam, Thirsty Thursday Toys, tonight will be live on Whatnot, doing a Godzilla Day sales stream on Whatnot. Go to his channel, or go to his Instagram specifically. Go to Thirsty Thursday Toys on Instagram. He'll have a link to his Whatnot for his stream tonight. I just remember that. I said I would do that for him when he was in chat, and I ended up not doing it, and that's my fault. Not his. That's my fault. So go check that out. Go to Kaiju Fanatics channel. Like he said, he's getting close to being ready to start posting and doing content. Go to his channel, follow it. It's on my channel. If you go to my channel page and you scroll down to the bottom and you do the similar channels or channels that I enjoy, Matt's channel is there. Make sure you subscribe early. That way you are some of the first. You could be able to say, I'm one of the first people to see one of Kaiju Fanatics videos and be part of the first part. I know some people that's not a big deal, but for me, I really like getting into new bands and getting those first two singles as they're coming out, being able to say, oh, I was there at the very beginning. Not as like a clicky thing or like a I'm a real fan. It's just really cool to see a band's very early beginnings morph into later. And I do the same thing with channels. I really like to see, especially my friends, I like to see where they start. And then in a few years, I'd be like, I was there right at the beginning to see how it started and then comparing it to the now. I do the same thing with my channel privately. I've done that actually quite a bit the last few months. That's why I've been trying to make sure that I'm improving and changing things, making sure my editing is a little bit more cleaner, because I don't want someone to go and click on a video from 3 years ago and then click on a video from a week ago and be like, oh, basically the same shit. Because there has to be some evolution. So I always like seeing channels and friends evolve and grow and continue just to blow through the ceiling and do completely well. So make sure you go subscribe to Kaiju Fanatic now, so you are ready for when he starts getting ready to upload, which soon, he says maybe soon, getting so close. And then obviously go subscribe to Thirsty Thursday Toes. Thirsty Thursday Toes. Thirsty Thursday Toys. Oh man, I'm actually super drunk. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very, very drunk right now. It's why the outro has now been extended 10 minutes, because I'm actually drunk and I get a thought in my head and then I run with it. Right now, see? I'm drunk as fuck. Thank you guys so much. Of course, Matt. Of course. Gotta support a homeboy. Especially because, like, I've been absent from everything lately, so, like, I gotta make sure that I'm doing my part. So make sure you guys go subscribe to Kaiju Fanatic. Be on the lookout for his future content. Obviously, I'll be doing my best to share with you guys when that content posts. Same thing, he wasn't able to make it to stream tonight in the chat or anything. Tokusatsu BTS, my friend Joseph, go follow him. I have plenty of friends on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook that I like to share, not because well, I just like to do it genuinely, because I want all of us to just hang out. And my friends make really interesting content. My content compared to my friends' content is very bare bones, very basic. It still feels like it's content from the early 10 years ago, where the content that my friends are making are really fresh and modern, and they're taking new modern cues. And I really want them to I want them to explode. I want them to do well. I miss you guys too. So I love y'all. Thank you, everyone. GC, chat, subscribers, non-subscribers, anyone who viewed the live stream, viewed my videos over the last almost 5 fucking years at this point. Thank you guys so much. I love y'all. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Excuse me, with a very messy setup, by the way, for the SH Monster Arts Legion unboxing later today for Godzilla Fest. Take care, everyone. We'll see you later. Bye-bye, guys.